All right, well, welcome everyone. Let us land and begin our practice. Make sure you have gathered anything you might need for your practice, any pillows or blankets, blocks, straps, towels, anything you might want to use. Make sure you have that handy. And then land in your space, sitting nice and tall. Nice, tall, comfortable, upright seat. And then just finding yourself here in this moment, letting go of what came before, and showing up here for yourself. If it feels comfortable, eyes maybe close, or just look down in front of yourself, focusing on nothing in particular. And begin by just noticing your breath. Not trying to control it in any way or shape it. For now, just noticing. Noticing if you're breathing quickly or more slowly. Maybe where your breath is landing. Is it deep or shallow? Maybe try to notice the temperature of your breath as it enters your nose. Even notice if there are any smells that you can notice. And as you land here, perhaps setting an intention for yourself for today's class. And that could be anything. Perhaps your intention is for calmness, to have this hour be a commitment to a space of just being calm and present, seeking peace. Maybe today you want your intention to be a little bit more of a challenge. Maybe you try something new, some piece of the practice that you haven't tried before. Or maybe you want to focus on gratitude. Whatever it is, set that intention and carry it with you throughout class. You can always switch your intention if it doesn't feel like it's working for you today. But try to carry whatever you have decided with you throughout our time together. And now bringing more intention to your breath and inhaling deeply through the nose, really filling with air, pushing that air all the way down into your belly and filling up, feeling expansion through your chest, up into your throat. And then opening up and letting it all out. And again, inhaling deeply, really filling up. And then opening your mouth and exhaling. Now this time, continue inhaling through your nose, maybe thinking about your intention as you do and really focusing on that, filling up with air, filling up with that intention, saying the word to yourself, and then exhaling through the nose this time. So closing mouth and exhaling through the nose. And again, inhaling through your nose, breathing deeply, feeling the expansion, and then exhaling through the nose. And again, in that way, inhaling, filling, and then exhaling through the nose. And maybe you can focus on this next breath together, on your Ujjayi breath, that really deep, raspy throat breath. So inhaling, filling up with air, and then exhaling. You're going to exhale through the nose, constricting the throat, and see if you can make that like ocean sound, or that sound like your Darth Vader. So inhaling, filling up, exhale through the nose, nice and loud. Really feeling it in the back of your throat. Again, trying that inhale and exhale. And if you find that challenging, maybe thinking about fogging up a mirror on the exhale. So, as if you hold your hand in front of your face, as if that were a mirror, where you can imagine a mirror in front of you. So on your next breath, think about inhaling deeply and then constricting the throat. And then as you exhale, trying to fog up that mirror in front of you with your breath. And again, inhaling deeply, exhale, fog that mirror. And then just coming back again to your own breath, releasing your hands to your knees, just breathing and just noticing. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. And as we move through our physical practice today, when you are in challenging poses and strength poses, maybe thinking about returning to that Ujjayi breath, that deep throat constriction breath. When you're in those challenging poses, that can be a great spot for practicing those. Then returning to our breath, inhale and exhale. And then we start to connect that breath with movement. So together on the inhale, inhaling arms up nice and tall, reaching high, really deep breath. And then exhale, bringing hands through heart center. Again, inhaling up nice and tall. Exhale, hands through heart center. And two more in this way. Inhaling up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhaling up. Exhale, heart center. Inhaling up again, and now twisting to your right and coming into the twist, left hand to right knee. Right hand grabs the chair behind you or props up on the floor, and coming into that twist. On the inhale, focusing on lifting, and the exhale, focusing on your twist. Maybe looking over that back shoulder. And just being present here in this twist for a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, an inhale lifts the arms back up to the sky, and we take it to the other side. So twisting to the left, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you, props you up. Inhale, nice tall spine. Exhale, coming into the twist. And continuing that focus with every breath. As you inhale, focus on lifting the spine tall. On the exhale, focus on twisting a little bit further into the twist. And that twist might not even be noticeable, the movement, but you're shifting the focus with the inhale to lift and exhale to twist. And an inhale lifts arms back up to the sky. Now dropping your right hand down to touch your chair or the mat and just doing a nice curve to the side. So lifting up and over. Continuing to breathe, not holding on to breath. Then an inhale lifts you back up to center and then to the other side. So drop that left arm down and then coming up and over with the right. Inhale brings us back to center and then release. Maybe some circles with your shoulders, bringing shoulders up and then down your back. Maybe you hear some creaks and cracks. That's absolutely okay as long as you don't feel any pain with that. And then switch set directions. Maybe big circles and little circles. And then some wrist circles, one direction. Maybe wiggling the fingers too, wrists and fingers going. And then take it the other direction. Great, and then release. Taking a nice deep inhale and exhale. And then making your way to your tabletop. So swinging legs around, coming to your mat with wrists coming below your shoulders, knees below hips, coming into a nice stable position here. Setting yourself up and then coming into our cat and cow. So to begin, inhale, dropping belly, hips and chest rise. And then with your exhale, arching the back, really feeling into these stretches and flowing with your own breath. So your movement may be quicker or slower than mine. It all depends on how fast your breath is in this moment. And then you can also play around with controlling that a bit. So maybe slowing the breath and really going slow with your movement. Or speed it up and see what that feels like. And then you can also always bring in additional movements, get playful with how you're stretching out your spine. So maybe you go side to side, making a C curve with your spine, one direction and the other. Make a C and then an opposite C. Or maybe you do some figure eights or circles with your hips. Just moving and experimenting, and if something doesn't feel great, then do something else. And then when you're ready, returning to our tabletop, and we'll come into our balancing postures here. So as you're ready, and inhale, bringing up the right arm straight forward, and then back with the left leg. Maybe it lands on your toes, or maybe that leg lifts. No matter what you're doing, make sure you keep breathing. And then land it down. Other side, left arm up, right leg back. And then you lift, maybe. Continuing to breathe. And then landing. First side again. Right arm, left leg. Maybe it lifts. Continuing with the breath, the inhale and exhale. And then land. Other side, left arm, right leg lifts. And land. And one more time each side. And if you like, you can try the little crunch in the middle. Right arm, left leg. Maybe left leg lifts. Maybe inviting elbow and knee to meet underneath your body. And then stretching back out to straight. And then landing. And then last side, left arm, right leg. Maybe a lift. Then maybe they meet underneath, elbow to knee, straightening back up, and then landing. And then from there, toes meet, knees go out, and coming into your child's pose. You can land your head on a pillow or a block, arms stretched out in front, or even arms by your side, by your legs. And just coming to rest here, returning to your breath, your inhale and exhale. Maybe bringing attention back to your intention that you set earlier in the practice. Check in with it. Know if it still feels good, if it fits. Or maybe you want to let that intention float away and pull in a new one for the rest of practice. That is up to you. So settle in on an intention to carry forward. Maybe repeat it to yourself with your breath. And then as you're ready, coming back up, meeting in our tabletop position. And then coming into our shoulder stretch, our thread the needle. So we'll go 3 times, landing on the 3rd time for each side. So inhale brings the right arm up, reaching to the sky. Exhale, threads it through. Inhale reaches that right arm up to the sky. Exhale, threads it through. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, threads it through. And if it feels good, landing on side of your cheek, shoulder, right shoulder. Perhaps left arm reaches up and wraps around to land on your lower back. Or that left hand can stay right by your side. Again, as always, staying connected to your breath. And as you're ready, unwrapping that left arm, if it's on your lower back, landing it, then an inhale draws your right arm up to the sky and then lands. And then we come to the other side. So your next inhale brings your left arm up to the sky. Exhale, threads it through. Inhale, lifts to the sky. Exhale, threads through. One more time. Inhaling up. Exhale, threading through, landing on your cheek, your shoulder. Maybe that right hand wraps up and round, or maybe it stays right by your side. Whatever feels good for today. And then as you're ready, unwrapping the right hand if it's on your lower back, placing it down. Inhale, brings the left arm up to the sky and lands. And then here you can push into another child's pose if you like. Reconnecting with breath. Maybe reconnecting with your intention again. And then as you're ready, taking your time, pushing back up, coming through table, and coming to a standing position. And we'll meet together standing at the front of our mat. And setting ourselves up here actively, building our standing posture, starting with our feet, maybe rolling forward and back, side to side, really feeling our feet rooted into the ground. And landing those feet, activating our lower legs, pulling those calf muscles into our leg bones, pulling in our thighs, actively engaging the muscles, thinking about pulling your leg up into your hip, pulling your belly button into your spine, shoulders go up and back, down your spine. So although you're just standing here and it may not feel like a super active position, we really are very active and engaged and strong. So taking a breath here, the inhale and exhale. And let's do one more. Inhale and exhale. And then our next inhale brings our arms up overhead, reaching tall, and then folds us forward. Inhale to come to a flat back. So hands land on thighs or shins, looking forward just ahead of your mat. And then exhale brings us back into a forward fold. Inhale, we're rooting down through our feet, coming all the way up, arms reaching tall. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a breath here. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll do it again, flow again, but this time we'll add a little twist too. So inhaling up, reaching tall. And then exhale, left hand forward, right hand back, twisting to the side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side, right hand forward, left hand back. Inhale, lifts up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root down, rise up, arms tall. And exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, arms up. Twist to the right. Left hand forward, right hand back. Inhale up. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. And let's do it one more time. This time I'm not going to cue us. We'll each just flow with our own breath. So just follow with your breath. And if you do something different than others, then that's absolutely fine too. Okay, I'll cue us to start together. Inhale, arms reach up. And then as you land, take a nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And let's do one more. Inhale and exhale. And then releasing hands and maybe giving the legs a little wiggle out and getting ready for our strength series, our warrior poses. So again, preparing, standing nice and tall. And then to start, we'll step back with your right foot. So maybe hands on hips to start. Stepping back with that right foot. Setting yourself up, making sure you have enough width and length between your feet. So you want to not be on like a tightrope with your feet. Back foot is at a bit of an angle. Front foot toes are facing forward. Figure out what distance feels good for today. Set yourself up for success. And then hips are facing forward to begin with. And as you're ready, bending into that front leg, finding the positioning that feels good. Back leg is nice and straight. And then when you're ready, inhaling arms up, warrior one. And then from here on an inhale, opening up to warrior two and really setting yourself up. So finding the positioning again, back leg is straight, front leg is bent. Both your arms are out nice and straight. Maybe peeking back over that back arm. Is it where you think it is? Making sure it's coming out from the shoulder. And then coming back to the front arm. Your eyes are looking over your front middle finger. Making sure that your body is pretty straight up. You're not leaning way forward or way back. Really being nice and central. Nice strong warriors. Inhale and exhale. And then flipping that front palm, dropping your back arm, reaching up and back, reversing your warrior. Keeping the bend in the front leg, straight back leg. And remember, if you need a break, you can always straighten up front leg and then come back in. Inhale brings you back to warrior two. Eyes over that front middle finger. Everyone looks so great, so strong. And then forearm to front thigh. And then windmilling that top arm up. So you have a nice long line from the tips of your fingers back through that straight leg. Making sure you're breathing, not holding on to breath. And then an inhale brings you back up, warrior two again. Eyes over that front middle finger. Ending nice and strong. Inhale, exhale. And then hands to hips, stepping back up to the top of your mat. You're wiggling the legs out, wiggling arms, loosening up. And then just standing tall and taking a nice breath before we do the other side. So nice deep inhale and exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale and exhale. And then as you're ready, prepare for the other side. So maybe hands to hips. And from the front of your mat, stepping back with the left leg. Setting yourself up, making sure you have enough width, length between your feet. Front toes forward, back toes at a bit of an angle. Find the position that feels good for your body today. Starting with hips forward, bending front leg, back leg straight. Again, hips forward, and then when you're ready, inhaling arms up. Warrior one. Connecting to breath. And then on your next inhale, opening up to warrior two. Really setting that up. Hips are to the side now. Back leg is still straight, front leg bent. Check that back arm, make sure it's coming straight out from your shoulder. Front arm is coming straight out as well. And then your eyes are looking over that front middle finger. Inhaling and exhaling. And then flipping that front palm, dropping your back arm, reaching up and back to reverse that warrior. Back leg is straight, front leg is bent. Staying connected to breath, making sure you're breathing. Then an inhale draws you back up to warrior two. Eyes over that front middle finger. Nice and strong. Connected to breath. And then forearm comes to that front bent leg. Inhale and windmill that back arm up, nice long line. Continue to breathe. And then an inhale brings you back up to warrior two. Nice strong finale. Eyes over that front middle finger. And together we inhale and exhale. Let's try one more. Inhale and exhale. And then hands to hips and come back up to the front of your mat. Maybe wiggling the legs out and just landing for a moment. Returning to your breath. Staying connected. And just noticing your breath. Noticing how it feels. Maybe it's different from the nature of your breath at the beginning of class. Maybe it's a little faster now after doing that challenging warrior series. No judgment, just noticing. Just taking in the information, the data, and then letting go. And then we come into our balancing series. So remember here, we'll start with our tree and then we'll do our new balancing series that we've been adding on to with lots of different options. So throughout, you can do as much or as little as you like, and certainly modify and change in any way that you want to experiment with this week. But to start, we'll start in our tree pose Rooting down through the left leg, standing tall, and then inviting lightness to the right, coming to wherever it's going to land today, lower leg, upper leg, kickstand, and inhaling our hands to heart center, staying here, or maybe bringing arms up, overhead. No matter what you're doing, staying connected to breath. If your tree wobbles or waves or falls over, just coming back in. And when you're ready, hands through heart center, and we release. And then rooting back down again, we bring our tree to the other side. So rooting down through the right leg, inviting lightness in the left, coming to wherever your tree is going to land for today. Hands coming to heart center. Always the option to have a chair in front of you, by your side. Maybe the tree grows. Maybe your tree is smiling today. And then when you're ready, hands through heart center and release. And now we'll come into our balancing series that we've been doing. And remember, you can do all or none of this, and you can also pick one aspect and just stay there and focus on that and focus on working with balance by doing one specific move. But I'll go through the whole thing. Again, you can stop and stay with the balance at any point. And also maybe to have a chair in front of you or by the side for balance, or maybe having blocks ready for the last piece of this. So to start, rooting down through that left leg, nice and strong. Then your right knee floats up. Maybe you grab onto the knee with two hands, with one hand, or with no hands, and hands are out to the side or on a chair for balance. Then from here, inviting that knee to the side. Again, you can be holding onto it or not. Then the knee floats back to the center, staying here and balancing, or maybe trying to straighten out the leg a bit in front of you. And then from here, you float that leg back and we come into our airplane. So lifting that leg, coming forward with your body, up with your leg, and arms are out to the side like airplane wings. If you have a chair, you can hold on to that in front of you or to one of the sides. Or maybe you have a convenient little radiator like I do. You can just grab onto that. And then you can land your airplane, or you can come into the new one we added last week, which is our half moon. So stack one or two blocks to help you with this. So from the airplane, you kind of turn to the side and hold on to the block. So you're opening up your body to the side. So leg is still up, but now one arm is going up to the sky and one arm is going down to the block. Again. You fall out, come back in, or just stick with another part of the balance. And then when you're ready, landing your feet and meeting back in center. And no matter what happens, how balanced or perhaps even unbalanced you feel today, just let it all go. Wiggle it out. And then if you need to move your chair or your block to the other side so it's ready, you can have that there. And then take a deep breath in. Exhale. And we'll bring it to the other side. And remember, you can do any and all of this. You can do none of it. As long as you're breathing, as long as you're standing and breathing, you're absolutely doing balancing. So have your props ready, your chair, your block. Ground yourself. And then invite lightness into the left knee. So left knee comes up. You can hold it or not hold it. Maybe that knee opens to the side. And then floats back to center. Keeping knee here bent or straightening. Leg out in front of you. And then from here, either bent or straight, that leg swings back and your body comes forward into your airplane pose. So your body is coming forward, leg is going back. Standing leg is almost straight. Arms are out to the side like airplane wings. You hit some turbulence, just keep trying. Your plane takes a nosedive, maybe come back in. And then if you want to try the half moon, you can bring your hand to the chair or your block. And then arms go in opposite directions. So leg is up, bottom arm is resting on the block or chair, top arm is coming straight up. And then landing and releasing. And letting go, shaking it all out. Letting go of however that went. And returning to breath. The inhale and exhale. Let's do one more inhale and exhale. And then when you're ready, taking your time to make your way back to a seated position. So coming to sit in your chair or in the mat. If you're on the mat, legs straight out in front of you, sitting up nice and tall. Connecting with breath. And then coming to our forward fold. So you may wish to have a towel or strap to bring around your feet. Sitting up nice and tall. Maybe closing eyes if that feels comfortable. And leaning forward with the chest. So you're folding forward, but you're having as straight a back as possible and leading with the chest. So as always, you might not go very far, but you're absolutely doing the pose correctly if you're leading with the chest. So folding forward and just allowing yourself to be in this pose for a few breaths. And just noticing how you feel taking this form. Noticing how it may shift a bit with your inhale and exhale. Continuing to stay connected to breath. And then on an inhale, dropping your head, rolling up one vertebra at a time, with your head coming up last. Staying connected to your breath, and then coming to a comfortable seated position. Maybe crisscross with the legs. And we'll do our eagle arms. So again, multiple options here. Do whatever feels good for you today, whatever works for you and your body in this moment. But together, inhaling arms up to start. And then we'll do right arm under first. So again, you can do elbow to elbow, palm to palm, or right arm comes under left, back of palm to back of palm, or full twisty. And then think about dropping your shoulders down your back as much as possible and lifting those elbows so that they are about shoulder height. You don't want them hanging way down. You want to kind of have your elbows lifted. And then just make sure you're not holding your breath, that you continue to breathe as you're in this position. And then when you're ready, releasing that, inhaling up, and then bringing left arm under, right, coming into whatever twisty version you're going to do, or elbow to elbow, palm to palm. And if none of this feels good today, you can always just wrap around and give yourself a big hug. That is another option. But land wherever you are. Shoulders down your back, elbows lift. And then when you're ready, reaching tall and then releasing. Taking a breath, inhale and exhale. And then in your own way and in your own time, making your way down to your mat, lying on your back, swinging legs around, coming to lying down. Feet land on the mat, knees pointed up towards the ceiling. Taking your time, landing here. And then when you're ready, inviting your right ankle up and over onto the left thigh. Maybe you stay here, or perhaps your hands wrap around that left thigh, inviting both legs in towards your chest, both feet flexed. Thinking about releasing your shoulders down into the mat. So you don't want to be all curved up or hunched up. Really trying to have a nice flat back. Shoulders on the mat. Just staying connected to your breath. Noticing the inhale and the exhale. And then when you're ready, releasing that, hugging both knees in towards your chest. Maybe a side to side rock, or maybe some circles with the knees, going one direction, then the other direction. Taking a nice breath, then landing feet down again. And taking this form to the other side. Left ankle over right leg. Staying here. Or maybe hands wrap around the right thigh. Both feet are flexed. Shoulders into the mat. And then when you're ready, hugging knees into the chest. A little more rocking. And then from here, releasing your legs, we're going to come into our waterfall pose. So if you use a props for this, grab your pillow or blocks and land feet on the mat, lifting hips, putting your prop under your hips, landing hips back down onto your prop, and then floating up. Ankles above knees, above hips. And just staying connected to your breath. And then when you're ready, landing your feet back down. If you have a prop, lifting hips, sticking it out, just pushing that to the side. And then hugging knees in, dropping both knees to the right side. Remember, in this form, you can always put pillows under your knees to rest, or you could put a pillow between your legs. Or just drop both knees to the side, arms are out in a T. If you want a little bit more of a twist, you can bring your eyes to look over the opposite arm. So if your knees are to the right, then you bring your eyes to look over the left shoulder. But if that feels like too much today, you can just keep your head in the same direction as your knees. And then when you're ready, bringing knees up through center, letting them fall to the other side. Bringing your eyes over the opposite shoulder, or just having them in the same direction as your knees. And as you're ready, knees come back to center. Drawing them in, giving yourself one more big hug. Maybe with a little rock. And then as you're ready, coming into your final relaxation and integration position. So if you like the restorative heart opener, you can bring your props and make your bolster, bringing that to the base of your spine. And coming to lie back on that, your feet can be out towards the bottom of your mat, feet falling open, arms are to your side, palms up. If it feels good, you could also do soles of feet together. Or you can just come to lie flat on the mat, feet out to the bottom corners of your mat, arms to the side, palms up. But make sure to find a position that feels comfortable, relaxing, where you can integrate the work you've done today and come to rest. And then just come to awareness. Begin to inquire of yourself, what am I aware of? What is obvious? Without effort, begin to notice the elemental quality of your awareness. Is it an experience of hardness or firmness, solid like a mountain? Or are you experiencing openness or an expanse like space? Maybe you notice a sense of inner movement or flow like the ocean, or heat and warmth like fire. Keep your awareness open, without effort, without story or interpretation. Subtly attune and note the nature of your experience in this present moment. Rest and enjoy the impermanent and impersonal nature of your experiences, feeling whatever stability and balance of mind are present. As you feel centered, reflect on one good thing you like about yourself and notice how this reflection impacts your present experience. Linger here. Next, begin to repeat the following phrases quietly, feeling the phrases and the space in between and through them. May I see the world with quiet eyes. May I offer care without hesitation, knowing I may be met with gratitude, anger, or resistance. May I find the inner resources to genuinely contribute where needed. May I remain peaceful and let go of fixation. May I care about the pain of others, yet I cannot control it. May I offer care, knowing I don't control the course of life, suffering, or death. I wish all beings contentment, but I cannot make their choices for them. May I see my limits with compassion, just as I see the limits of others. May I be undisturbed by the changing circumstances of my life. I care for all beings, but my way is not the only one. All beings have their own journey, and I have mine. May I offer my support, knowing that what I offer may be of great benefit, some benefit, or even no benefit. May I be free from preference and prejudice. May I bear witness to things just as they are. May I offer my prayer without conditions, knowing I may be met with appreciation, resentment, and resistance. May I see the world with patient eyes. And as you bring your attention back to your breath, notice once again the elemental quality of your experience: mountain, ocean, fire, or space. Deepening your breath, and maybe inviting some movement to your body, and taking your own time, making your way back to where we began, together in a seated position, rolling to the side, moving away props, maybe even resting a moment on your side. But together we meet, seated tall, inviting hands to heart center. And we close together with 2 shared breaths. Together we inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Thank you all for your presence here today. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.